Hi friends, so welcome to part 3 of our mini album tutorial from start to finish summer series, and today we are going to be working on this first page. The mini album does have 5 pages, and if you would like to catch up with the previous works that we've done with this mini album, I will go ahead and leave you links to those 2 videos in the description area below and also right up there. So yeah, let me start by saying that I bought some digital copies of some Prima papers. I forget which one this is. Something collection. And so the reason why, excuse me, the reason why I decided to print out some digital papers is because I think that these will go very well with the Prima Love Clippings collection, okay? And I just wanted to add a little bit of spunk to this mini album since we are using a lot of the darker colors. I thought these blended in very well. I will just be using these sporadically, you know, here and there. And so I printed these on my HP printer, and if y'all want to know what printer, I used to not do digital prints for a long time because I just didn't have the right printer, but thanks to the help of a few of my friends who advised me on the type of printer to get for the digital papers, I got myself and what is it called? HP something or other. I'll go ahead and find out that model number and I'll leave it in the description area below. And I'm also enrolled in the HP Insta Ink program, in which for like $4.99 a month you get your cartridges, okay? You get your ink, your black ink and your color ink to replace in your printer, and to me that is so mega cheap. And it's a program that goes like by paper, and $4.99 is for something like 100 prints a month, and I don't print 100 prints a month, but I went ahead and did the $4.99 deal anyways because I thought it was such a great deal. And there is a lower deal for people who don't print that many papers a month. So I'll go ahead and leave a link to that deal in the description area below as well. Okay, so moving on, I did print these out from Prima, and I do plan to use these. And yeah, we are still using our Love Clippings collection, and let me go ahead and give you a few measurements before we get started. Okay, now the book that I'm using is Heartfelt Creations and so forth and so on. So the measurements obviously are for this book right here. Okay, now this panel, I'm calling it A. This measures approximately 8 by 4 7/8. This set of panels, I'm calling it B, and this measures, each panel is going to measure 5 1/4 by 8. And this panel, which I'm calling C, measures 8 by 6. This I'm calling letter D. This measures 6 1/8 by 8 1/4. And the back to this right here, which I added absolutely nothing, measures 8 1/2 by 6 1/2. Now, okay, so I just had to write those measurements down. That way I know to go down 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 of an inch, however it is that I want to do this. So I'm also going to be using some dies. I did cut a couple of these dies. These are dies from Spellbinders. And, whoops, I'm stuck on magnets here. Okay, and it's the Spellbinders Designer Series Rouge Royale Fabulous Fretwork by Stacy Karen Designs. And she's the co-founder of Spellbinders, if y'all didn't know that. And so, yeah, I do plan to use a couple of these here and there, and maybe some more. I don't know. We'll see as we go along. And so, I'm also going to be using some trims. These finally arrived in the mail today. Let me go ahead and show you. I've already trimmed this paper right here. That's going to be the front panel for this one. And these Prima papers, I plan to use them kind of like on the insides, okay, where they're not so visible, but they still blend in well with the Love Clippings collection. So yeah, we're going to be doing that. And the magnets, I have a funny story about these magnets. I ordered these magnets from Amazon, and I'll go ahead and leave you a link to these magnets in the description area below. Now, here's the thing. I needed some flat magnets, okay? But I didn't take notice on how large these magnets were, and let me show you how large these magnets are. These magnets are huge. I mean, they are the size of a $50. So I don't know how we're gonna do this as of yet. I may use these, like I may use smaller magnets. I did buy smaller magnets at my local crafting store, but see, the thing about these magnets, and these are as flat as they come at the store, and they're not flat enough for me, okay? So yeah, that's why I purchased these, and this is a pack of 20 at a very good price. And yeah, so we'll see what type of magnets we use. But yes, this is going to be my very first page. I'm planning on doing something like this over here. I don't know as of yet. I may work from the bottom up. We'll see yet, but yeah. So let's go ahead and get started. It's party time, yay! what I've done. And this is a Prima paper that the digital papers that I printed out, and so is this. And here is from the Love Clippings collection. I think it makes a really nice contrast. And Love Clippings and Love Clippings, and over here I'm going to apply Love Clippings. And what I did on the back is, oh, excuse me, sorry. What I've done on the back is I remembered that I still had a little bit left from my Tales of You and Me. See, I have just a few sheets left of this, and I thought, you know what? This is so familiar to this stack that I'm going to go ahead and kill this paper pad. Okay, you know, there's no point in me hanging on to the 4 or 5 sheets or 6 sheets that I have left in this paper pad when I know that I can very well apply it to here and make a nice contrast. So that's what we're going to do as well. We're going to apply this, and I still have this one printout to use from the other collection. So yeah, I thought I would go ahead and turn the camera on before I applied that ginormous magnet, and we are going to start embellishing this. And I'm also thinking about embellishing this part right here before I move on any further. That way it'll be a heck of a lot easier for me to work on this part while there's nothing over here, but you know, no bulk for me to have to deal with. Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead and do the magnet. And just basically, and I'm sure, I mean, gosh, there are thousands of videos out there on how to apply the magnet, and yeah, basically what you do is you just set it down and it automatically goes to where it needs to go. And so I'm hoping that this is going to be easy enough to open, and I think that it will. So yeah, we are going to apply our magnet there. Now, I've seen this done in 2 different ways, and because of my lack of expertise, I cannot tell you which is the proper way or not. As I go along and learn more techniques and everything, then I can very well tell you, yes, this is how you do it, or no, you do not do that. But from what I've gathered from hundreds of videos out there on how to apply magnets, some folks will apply glue to here and then put it down, okay? But other folks will, I think my dog needs to go out. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that, folks. Okay, so let's see, where was I? Yes, some people will apply glue to this part here and adhere it just as well, while other people will say do not add glue here because it interferes with the holding factor. So what I'm going to do is, and I don't know if this is going to work or not, time will tell, I'm going to apply glue only around the rim, okay? And, hello, glue. Let me get this open. Okay. Let me make sure I'm in the right side. Okay, I'm going to apply glue only on the rim. Hello, rim. Excuse me a moment. Okay. And just kind of like dot, 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 dot. Okay, so, alrighty, there it is. Now, there's no glue at the center, only at the rim. Or the circumference. Yes, that's what we call it, circumference. So now I am going to apply some double-sided tape right along here. And some double-sided tape right along here. But keep it in mind, you don't want to go all the way to the edge because you don't want your tape to show. So, okay, we are going to do that. And I always, if y'all have noticed in other videos as well, I always like to run my bone folder against my double-sided tape. And that's simply to, it makes me feel better. It makes me feel like it adheres better. So I do it for safe measure.
Oh, what a day, what a day. I know.
I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it. Hey! Okay, so I went through my, I went to look for some trims and everything, and this is what I want to do. Let's go ahead and put some trims on here. Now, I took my husband's brush for his suit, and I'm gonna, one thing about this cover, this type of, I guess it's canvas that they use, it's very beautiful because it's that jet black and everything, but it attracts lint like you wouldn't believe. And so this is what I want to do. I brought out a whole mess of trims. Let me show you. All sorts of different trims, okay? All sorts of different trims. I was looking at pink, but I think pink is too much. I think it'll be more of a classier look if I use the whites and the off-whites. Now, this is just things that I have collected over the years, that I have bought, and some things have been gifted to me by y'all. And so I do appreciate that. And now what we're going to do is we are going to use some trims. But here's the thing about the trims that I want to use. I want to make it real pretty and everything, a very classy look. But I need to watch that I don't go overly bored on the shabby chic. I don't want to go on the shabby chic route because when you open up the book, this is not shabby chic. Shabby chic does not have black. I haven't seen black in shabby chic. It's a lot of the creams and the whites and the off-whites and the lighter pinks. And I don't want to throw that into the mix. It'll be a confused book.
Dick pulls the sheets away. Says, Jane, you look the same as you did yesterday. Not the week before. Jane, where's my head today? Ear left the pillow and my eyes float away. Got a mind to be outdoors. And where should we go? And where should we go? And where should we go?
So now that this is done, it's looking like this, real pretty. I'm loving it. Okay. I've cut 2 pieces. Now this is from the Spellbinders Designer Series Rouge Royale, Fabulous Fretwork by Stacy Karen. And I'll go ahead and leave you a link to this set of dies in the description area below. Well, it's not a set, it's just one die. Okay, so I'm thinking, do I do this or do I do this? And I think this is the color that I'm going to do. Yeah. Now, how do I want these to go? It's going to have to be like this. And I'm looking at the pattern. It's going to have to be like this. Okay. So here we go. We need our fussy cutting scissors. Ooh. Isn't this fancy? See, something like this, that way it doesn't attract to it. And let's see. Something like that. So, yeah, we're going to have to glue it. And this is going to go like this. Let's see, do I have any other trim I'd like to use? Oh, here's a trim I want to use. Hang on a second. What are you doing? Maybe I want to use this trim instead. Oh yeah. So what do you think? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim a couple of pieces to put in there. And let's see. Oh, how funny. Okay, we are going to take our, let's see, 5x5 paper size. We're going to do a small one. 5x5 paper size. Okay. Let's do a double-sided 5x5 right here. Alrighty. So how do I want this? Which is going to be, let's see, this is going to be the front. Okay, so 5. Oh, I wonder if this is 5. No, this is not 5. Oh. Okay, so let's do 5. By 5. Alrighty, so we have paper size 5x5, 2 3/8. 2 3. Let me turn it around. 2 3/8. I think, yeah, okay. Where is it? I can't see. Okay, here, because I can't see. Okay, there we go. Oops. Okay, that one I can see. That one I can see. Oops. Okay. So there we go. There we go. Okay. We're done. And of course, we're going to bring this over, bring this like this, bring this over like this, this over like this. And we're going to do, which is our, like this. Okay. Oops. And just left it like this, that's fine, that's fine. Apply a little bit of glue here. Too much glue. There. Okay. So we are going to take scrunched up love letter. We're going to stick it here. We are going to take oh, this is beautiful paper. I don't want to use this one. And we're going to take let's see, right here. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Her story is my favorite. Of course, this is too big, so isn't that the cutest thing? And of course, now this one, we are going to glue it to the front. And I've seen this done a different way, a little bit different. In another video, I picked this up from a tutorial that one of my friends sent me. So this is not my original idea. And I think the crafter's name is Mona or Bona. I'm sorry if I'm getting it wrong, but yeah, that is, I'm just giving credit where credit is due. This goes here. Let's see if we could do something to our edges. So I thought this was a cute idea, and she uses a different measurement, but this is really cute, I think. So that goes there, and let's bring our mini album back. So this can go there. Okay, so let me show you what I've worked on so far, and I did some of it off camera because it was just taking me a little bit long to do what I wanted to do. So yeah, I'm slow at crafting and I just go at my own pace. So yeah, we have this built in, and this is kind of like a belly band that goes on here, and we built this. And so what I decided to do was I had these leftover pieces from scrap from when we cut this right here, because this die not only cuts this shape, but it also cuts this shape. And because I wanted to do contrasting colors, I cut two pieces with the same die, one in gold and the other one with this. So I did have some leftovers. I have the leftover gold from when I cut this gold piece, and the leftover darker one from when I cut this piece. So what I'm doing is I'm using them. I glued them right on here, and I'm using them here as a frame. Now, this part over here is from a different project. Again, this is the leftover die cut from a Spellbinders frame that I was using, and I decided to frame this little tag. It's a sticker tag from this collection, the Love Clippings, and it's framing that. So what I'm doing over here is, this right here is a sticker from the Love Clippings collection, and this die cut over here is from, let me see that book right here. My friend Rosa from Rosa Kelly Scrapbooking gave this to me, and it has several die cuts, and you've seen me use these in card making, so I decided to use it right along here as well. Now, let me show you something else that I've done. Here, put this over here. Okay, so remember at the beginning I said that I had die cut two pieces. Oops, you can't see that. At the beginning I said that I had die cut two pieces, one of these in gold and another one in a maroon type color. Well, I decided to use the maroon color over here. You can barely see it, but there it is. Now, here's what happened. When I glued it on, I guess I wasn't holding these mini albums straight. It glued on kind of like at an angle, so I quickly had to remove it. Now, because this glue dries so quickly, what happened was that it peeled off some of this cardstock, okay? So I figured, oh my gosh, what am I going to do now? So I was able to take the whole thing off, the die cut, I mean, and then I glued it back down. After I had glued it back down, you could still tell where, you know, some of the dots that were peeled off from here. So a quick fix for me was to use this trim, the very same trim that I used over here. I'm using over here, and it's because of an accident, but I repaired that accident, and I like the way it came out. So initially I would have hoped that it was just the die cut, but it looks pretty. I think it looks pretty. It makes a nice contrast. So that's what we've done over there. Now, looking at this, I'm still going to keep this, and this blank, because I wanted to make it about the pictures. Yes, I could put all sorts of die cuts and everything, but that's going to take away from the real estate from your mini album. So I figured that as I use this mini album, I can go ahead and do some die cutting and maybe frame some things. It all depends on how my pictures are going to work on here. Now, if y'all want to see, once the mini album is completed, if y'all want to see it with pictures and everything and any more embellishments that I may have added to this, leave me a comment, leave me a thumbs up, and let's say if I get 50, 60 thumbs up on this video alone, I will go ahead and do a full video, a full reveal video of how I did my pictures with this mini album. Okay, so that's what we have here, and I'm really loving the way that looks over here. So we close our pages. I still haven't done anything over here, and I'm thinking about putting something like a trim. Maybe I could put a trim right up here on top and one at the bottom. I don't know yet. So I decided, sorry about that, I decided to add something in the back, because I was constantly grabbing my brush and cleaning the back to this. And even though I love that black against off-white contrast that this book has, it was still getting lint along here. So I said, you know what, I don't want to have to be cleaning up this album every single time I pick it up. And so what I've done here is I'm using trim from this spool over here, okay, which is the very same trim that we used right along here. So it took two sides, and I just hot glued this down over here. And this is a remainder trim that I had for my stash, and as it so happens, it fit perfectly in on this. So I hot glued that on top. Now, this is the spine. I'm not going to do a chunky charm because it's important to me to be able to lay this book down, and with a chunky charm, I really can't do that at all. So, you know, I have my little quirks, perks, whatever you call it. So, pet peeves. Yeah, I like to be able to lay my book down flat. Okay, so my, you know, chunky charms look cute and everything, but, alrighty. So, what I decided to do is I decided to hot glue some bling here. As you know, I love bling, and I was going through my stash to see what kind of bling I could do. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and hot glue some bling at the center of these rosettes. See, and make them look so nice and pretty. And these bling, the bling is a hint bulky, but it's not so bulky like a chunky charm that I won't be able to lay it flat. I mean, it'll be a little bit bulky, but not too much. And I thought these would be perfect for it. And I only have two left over here. Let me turn the book this way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hot glue one here, and I'm going to hot glue another one here. Now, I know that some of you will say, well, the hot glue is only going to hold for a little bit and eventually it'll fall off. Yes, it can eventually fall off, okay? I'm not going to sit here and say, no, it's not going to fall off. You just hot glue it, blah, 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 and everything. Eventually, it will probably fall off, but here's the thing. I can use E6000, but I'm not going to. Okay, now if you pick up the E6000 or any other Gorilla Glue or whatever type of glue out there, and I am not, this is a disclaimer, I'm not saying anything bad about these companies that make those type of glues, but if you read the back of the package of E6000 or any other type of adherent like it, you will note that it has cancer-causing chemicals. It has fumes that stay in your environment for a while, and you're breathing in those fumes. Your children or your grandchildren are breathing in those fumes, and they do cause cancer. So, as the chemicals evaporate and they are released into the atmosphere and your windows are closed, especially during the summertime and the same air is recirculating, you are contaminating your family with this glue. So it is my choice not to use those type of glues in my crafts, okay? And yeah, you know, these may fall off. You know what? I'll hot glue it back over. I'll hot glue it again. I don't mind, you know? And so, yeah, I just needed to let you all know about that. And that is just one woman's opinion based on what I have read. And yeah. So please don't get mad at me. It's just my opinion. You can use whatever type of glue that you want, but it is my choice, and I choose not to expose myself or my children with that. So we are going to go ahead, and especially in my craft room, you've seen my craft room tour. I do not have windows in my craft room. So it's not like I can open up a window while I'm using those glues. And there we go. I'm just gonna hold this there nice and flat until it adheres. pin like so. Now this one separated the flower some. See that? It separated the flower some, but I'm okay with that, you know. This is for me. This is to keep memories of myself, my family. This is a book that hopefully my children will enjoy once Mama passes away, you know, because we all don't live forever. And so I wouldn't want to live forever, I tell you that. And yeah, this is something that hopefully my grandchildren will be able to enjoy, or my great-grandchildren, and maybe someday, if YouTube is still around, my great-grandchildren or great-great-great-grandchildren will be able to say, look, there goes great-great-grandma. She was a hoot. So there we go. And we have, whoops, get that out of the way. I have made a big mess on my table, my desk table. I don't want to say table. Here we go. Let me see how I can stand this up in a way for y'all to see. And here is another one. And I may be off frame. Let me see if I can fix this a little bit. There. Okay. Sorry about that. And I found my other glue gun. You know, I had initially said that my daughter had it. I assumed my daughter had it, but no, I was the one who had it all along. It was just misplaced. It was in my catch-all bin because I've been cleaning up my craft room, and some of the things that I don't organize, I put them in my catch-all for later. And that's where it was. Now, I don't like the way this one is sitting. So what we are going to do is we are going to take a little bit of hot glue right here and hot glue the flower. There we go. Let's hot glue the flower. There. And so this one doesn't seem to. Let's turn it this way. And hot glue this piece down. That's what it is. The flower's not hot glued the way I should have done it. So here we go. And after this video, after I upload this video, I'm going to go ahead and get my nails done. I'm going to get that shellac removed because it always, I type a lot. I do a lot of typing. And yeah, it broke off, and you can see my natural nail growing underneath it. So I'm going to see if they can remove the shellac and they can leave my natural nails, and I can just get a regular manicure. Yeah, because these are actually getting in the way of my typing, so, and my crafting. So here's what this looks like. I am loving it. When we work on this one, we'll probably do this one as well. And we'll work, yeah, that's what we'll do in the next video. We'll work on this and we'll work on that, and we'll do something over here because I have to get going. And yeah. So we will do that, and then we have this page, and then we have the last page, and oh my gosh, I'm loving how this is turning out. Thank you so very much for joining me in my mini album tutorial summer series. Oh my gosh, from start to finish. I've never done a mini album from start to finish. I don't think I have a video because they take so long. I am so loving this. I'm so loving this. So yeah, don't forget to hit those thumbs up if you want to see a full, what do you call that? Reveal of pictures and everything, and more embellishments and all that. But yeah, we're going to take it one section at a time. And next time we're going to take 2 sections and the back of that one. So yeah, it's coming along. Leave me a nice comment. Let me know what you think so far. I know that I said this was going to be a basic mini album, and I think it is pretty basic. You know, the things that dress it up are the dies and some of the trims and so forth. And yeah, so I hope that you find this tutorial helpful and inspirational, and I hope that you get some ideas out of this. So thank you all so very much for watching, and I'll see you once again in the next video. Bye!